I think we need to hold each other to a schedule.
Yeah, I think, like, this is perfect for me, like a Sunday morning type thing.
Yeah.
But obviously, you know, I know your job doesn't really allow all the time for that, so...
Let's see what we can figure out.
Or I could, you know, whatever. We'll figure it out.
Sure.
I think when like, you really want to do it, you do it.
Yeah,
Even if we just said we're going to do this once a month.
Yeah.
I think we should be able to commit to that once a month.
I think so.
You know, if we just said every third Sunday, this is what we're going to do. And that's what we would do.
I like it. Third Sunday?
Whatever. You know, I'm just saying that because this is the third Sunday of this month. That's the only reason I'm saying that.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you just made a schedule.
Yeah.
You're the boss, man.
Every third Sunday. That could be like, I don't know.
This is not for children.
It is not for children. So I would advise you to usher your children out of the room.
Do not play this on like speaker in the middle of a public area, you know.
Outside of the preschool.
Surrounded by sensitive types, you know. People that may not like jokes.
Have no sense of humor.
No sense of humor.
Are bitter.
But also small children.
People who are non-orgasmic.
Non-orgasmic.
People. Ugh. So this is kind of, this is going to be like our most somber episode of Every Third Sunday. But it's also going to be new beginning.
New beginnings.
It's like that song I love that song by Chicago, Beginnings.
Yeah?
Yeah, one of my favorites.
If I had like a soundboard, we should play that right now.
It would be nice.
I'm fucking low budget though, bud.
Yeah, and I don't want to pay the guys in Chicago.
You don't want to give them their like $1 or $2?
Yeah. You ever see that movie Clear History with Larry David?
No.
There's like a subplot in that movie where his ex-girlfriend, it like takes place in the Hamptons, and Chicago had come there and played a concert like 20 years ago in the timeline or whatever, and his ex-girlfriend apparently blew 2 of the members of Chicago. And some other girl, Michael Keaton's cousin or sister or some shit, blew the other guys in Chicago at that concert or whatever. So it's like a subplot in the movie that, you know, she blew Chicago. And then, but it's such a funny fucking movie. And Chicago is in the movie at the end.
Really?
And he like gets past security to talk to him. He's like, hey, like 20 years ago, do you remember this woman here? And did she happen to blow you guys? And all the guys in Chicago are standing around and are like, oh, yeah, I remember her. She blew you. She blew me. It's so good, man. It's a really funny fucking movie.
I'll have to check that one out.
I mean, if you like Curb Your Enthusiasm,
yeah.
It's like a 2-hour episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I would love to see that.
It's really good. Really funny.
Yeah.
Funny movie. Really enjoy it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll check it out. What's it called?
Clear History.
Clear History.
Yeah.
I'll check
fun
that
movie.
Out. Interesting.
So anyway, this is... So for the first time in the history of Every Third Sunday...
Yeah.
We might actually be recording on schedule.
Really?
Possibly. I don't think so. I don't know when the last time, but this was like every third Sunday. The idea was that we were just going to fucking...
now it's the fourth Sunday.
Whatever. But you get what I'm saying. Like, in the beginning, it was, we're going to do this once a month, every third Sunday. And it turned into, what are you doing this week? You coming over? And we did it like almost every week for 14 weeks, it seemed like. Maybe not exactly. But
so that being said, that's a great segue into explaining that we are horrible at keeping a schedule.
Yeah.
And we like doing this more than once a month.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I kind of look at like every third Sunday, it was like the sketchbook phase of our podcast relationship kind of thing. Like we kind of put everything out there and let people listen to us kind of work out the kinks of doing a podcast.
Yeah.
And so like you kind of got to experience us developing in real time. And like obviously, like, some episodes are better than others, and, but it's like a sketchbook, some of the pages look good, some of them are dog shit, some of them you want to crinkle up and throw away, and some of them you want to keep and you want to expound on it. And I think like we took a little bit of time away from it and kind of gave ourselves a little time to think on it and understand what worked and what didn't work. And we're going to kind of like move forward with a new idea for the podcast, and we're going to like continue down a certain path of what we thought was the best part of our show.
Well, I think that it was there's a lot of things that you and I like talking about. We love food, and I don't think that we're done with that. But I think the problem with every third Sunday, not that it's a problem, but it's for marketing purposes, for people to like explain what our show was about.
Right.
There's no format.
Yeah.
1 week we're talking about food, the next week we're talking about childhood, memories of pornography, and
1 week we talk about fitness.
Yeah. So
sometimes we would just come down here and like go
shoot the shit,
and it would get dark, it would get funny. And they were long. They were long episodes. Like, a lot of them were long, and so.
I really think that so anyway, this is all leading up to the great explanation of we are 40-year-old guys. We have families. We're developed in our careers, but
we're nerds.
We still have our guilty pleasures and our hobbies that we love doing.
Special interest.
Yeah. And I think that that's what we want to gear the show towards, right? Is like, what is it that you do? Like, the world sees you as John, the guy that works at the trucking company and does that. But what is behind that?
Yeah.
What is John really?
Yep.
Now, I mean, I'm a fucking extreme extrovert, so everybody knows what I do. But that's not. I think it's more important. Two things here. We love talking to people, which we want to do more of. So we want to bring people on the show that have their
special interest.
Yeah.
And kind of delve into it with them. And like, that's kind of what it's going to be from here on out. It's going to be two guys kind of delving into the things that make them tick and the things that they're interested in. And we're going to kind of bring in other people to talk about what it is that, makes them who they are.
Yeah.
So the new title for the show is going to be Renaissance Man-Child.
Yeah.
Which is basically going to cover a lot of ground as far as, the various things that me and Chris are into. So this is going to be the last episode under the Every Third Sunday banner.
Well, and the thing is if you've already subscribed to the show, you don't have to change anything. It's going to continue to show up on your feed. It's just we're going to change the title. We're going to change the
little bit of format,
the logo, and then even the social media content. We're going to change everything over. It'll still be available. You can still go back and see older episodes and go, oh, okay. Yeah. But from here on forward, it's now branded as the Renaissance Man-Child.
There you go.
Show stuff.
Yep.
Audible content, we think.
Yeah. Another work in progress, but this is kind of set in concrete of what it's going to be from here on out.
And I think it's good because now at least there's a way to brand this and explain that. That this is what we're doing on our show.
I think it's important for people to realize too. Like, the goal of the show is not to get people riled up. We're not trying to get you so into your opinions that you're angry one way or supportive another way. We're not trying to gain bias for or against any kind of point of views. I mean, like, that's the world that we live in.
Yeah. If you want to hear that bullshit, go over to Yardbird Tuna. He's a jerk off.
I mean, if you want to hear that bullshit, you can go to Target right now and fucking, it's just, I don't want to be taking a stance one way or another on anything to the point that it stresses anybody out. Like, the idea of this is to entertain people. And, we want you to be driving to work and, enjoy the first half an hour on your way to work. And then you go to your job and you do the thing that you hate. And then you get in your car and you put it back on and you enjoy it some more. So it's like, the idea is to kind of take people out of the misery or the doldrum of daily life and kind of be entertained by, what we think is interesting or what you think is interesting. And, we're going to really geek out. Like, it's going to be a fucking total nerd fest.
Yeah.
Week in and week out. It's going to be a good time. We'll still say funny shit. I'm sure, Chris will still curse. So
I'm not even gonna fucking bullshit and sit here and say that I'm gonna try not to. That's a lie.
I don't want you to try. Yeah, we're not gonna change who we are. We're just gonna change the format a little bit.
But I do think that it's important to say, because it's such our world or our civilization right now is still extremely divided, in the sense that no matter what you seem to like, everybody has a way of like twisting it so that you're not on my team or whatever the story might be. And it's like, we don't want to be a part of that.
No, not at all.
Okay.
We're back.
Yeah. So everybody's still trying to find a way to like be offended, you know? And we're really so really we don't want to be a part of that. And in my eyes, when you and I are brainstorming about the way to change the show, is I think it's better to focus on what we enjoy and just try to appreciate it. If somebody comes down here and talks to us about something that neither one of us does,
right,
it's okay. We can listen to the guy and hear him out, and this is what makes you unique.
Right.
And it's good. It's good. It's okay. It's for anybody. I don't care if a trans person comes down here and wants to explain to me that they knit, their own clothing.
I just want to talk to you about knitting clothing.
I'll fucking hear you out, man. I want to hear it. I want to hear what it is that you do and why do you love it so much. Yeah. I'm not judging you. I don't care.
Doesn't matter to me.
My coffee tastes the same,
That's kind of, and like, not to get too far into it, but like, it almost feels like it's kind of become such a part of everything.
It's like bothersome, ain't it?
Yeah, it's like, can't I just enjoy this without any fucking right or left spin or any like? I just want to enjoy what I enjoy. And
I don't want to argue no more.
Yeah, I don't want to argue with people.
I'm
done with that shit. Like, it's dude, I was in the post office the other day with my daughter shipping something out, and me and my daughter were talking about Superman's son. There was like a story where Superman's son was bisexual or something like that.
Yeah.
And my daughter was like, "Did you know that, Dad?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know." And she was like, "Do you care?" I'm like, "Why would I care?" Like, no, I don't care, but here's what I do care about. I think that it's almost like, isn't Superman interesting enough?
Yeah.
Isn't the idea of Superman having a son interesting enough without having to kind of include this angle where, and I don't care who's bisexual. I'm not against that.
Yeah.
What I'm against is, I feel like the comic book company is profiting off of this idea. And that's where that's what bothers me about it. So I'm there and I'm explaining this to my daughter. It's like when you go into like a fucking store, like Michael's or something, and there's like a fucking a thermos or something that has like a rainbow that says Pride, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's great. Buy it if that's what you support and, all that shit. But realize that there's some douchebag that doesn't give a fuck about your pride making money off of you right now.
Yeah.
That's my problem with it.
Sure.
Is you're exploiting people for something that makes them feel like an individual.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest issue with it. I'm trying to explain this to my daughter. Like, I don't have a problem with any fucking walk of life that makes somebody happy. I want people to be happy and comfortable in their own skin.
Sure.
That's what I want for everyone.
But people don't, I don't think...
But there was a woman there who fucking chimed in.
Here we go.
And she's like, well, don't you think maybe they're trying to promote, being tolerant of people? And I'm like, lady, shut the fuck up. I'm thinking in my head, like, don't chime in while I'm talking to my daughter about something. Like, I don't need you to counterpoint what I just said. I don't like the idea of somebody profiting off of somebody's ideals or, walk of life. I just don't like that.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying to my daughter.
Yeah.
It's not about I'm telling my daughter to be tolerant.
Yeah.
Nobody said I wasn't saying that.
Yeah, but that's the way...
And you know where I was?
Sure.
You know where I was? What township do you think I was in?
Swarthmore.
Oh, I was at the Swarthmore
Fucking
post
Swarthmore.
office. I'm not even going to say the C word, but this woman was.
I'm thinking it.
She really was.
See you next Tuesday.
It really irked the balls off of me that this woman fucking chimed in.
Well, she knows better than you. She's a
school teacher apparently or whatever, and
I believe that. I believe that she knows better than you. She's smarter than you.
Oh yeah, I'm a jerk off. I'm a jerk off.
Just a white trash piece of shit from the probably from like some scumbag slum neighborhood.
Yeah, right.
You would never know anything about minorities or tolerance or being a kind person.
All right.
You don't know. You don't live in Swarthmore. You don't know. We have a sign on our front lawn that says "Hate has no home here." You didn't see it?
Yeah, right.
Take a better look, bud.
Go. You know what, lady, fucking school teacher that wants to promote tolerance. Go live in fucking Grace Ferry, where I grew up, next to the gay guy.
Yeah.
And with all the different racial backgrounds and all the different economic backgrounds of everybody on the street, and the middle of the street was the Section 8. So I know how to coexist with different people.
Sure.
Okay?
Sure.
Don't fucking tell me. I'm telling you, I don't like the exchange of money that comes with exploiting people.
Yeah.
That's all I fucking said.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's too large a concept for somebody to understand. And therefore, there's a problem in our society, I believe, with this idea of the lesser of two evils.
Right.
I hate when people say to me, it's the lesser of two. Well, we know that they're being exploited, but it's creating an awareness. No, dude, it's fucking ridiculous.
Listen, my son is gay. I have a gay son.
Yeah, dude.
Don't fucking chime in and say shit.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Because at the end of the day, you know what the reality is? And like, my wife and I talk about these things, is like, it wouldn't be such a hot topic if you would kind of just let it settle.
Right.
But you don't let it fucking settle.
Yeah.
We were watching this show that's on Apple TV, which is a great show. It's called Ted Lasso. It's about this guy from Kansas or wherever, Oklahoma, who was a football coach. He was a big guy in like college football, and somehow gets hired by this soccer team over in England to be the head coach over there now. So it's like a duck out of water kind of story.
Like culture shock kind of thing.
Yeah, it's cool because it's like Ted Lasso, the main character, is like this. He doesn't curse. He's always charming and polite and has some kind of witty little story or thing to say. It's a feel-good, great fucking show.
Right.
And it's so far, for the last 3 or 4 seasons, been non-political.
Mm-hmm.
It's been like, okay, we're just going to talk about this story and the characters and the development of the characters. And then the other day I'm watching it, and of course, it's going to make me sound like a homophobe or something or whatever, but it's not that. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with, dude, I went to film school, and I am an amateur writer. And to me, the content of the story is the most important part.
Yeah.
If you tell me a story and it sounds hokey or false or bullshit,
or detached from reality,
then I don't buy it. I don't want to watch it no more. So in this one episode, there's a character who's gay. He's kind of in the closet, and I get all of that. And I'm like, okay, you're going to tell this arc of this story. So the way they bring it out is the main character, or not the main character, the captain of the fucking team is like this very bravado Spanish guy. Very tough, barks, yells a lot, kind of like me, only Spanish
like an
version.
alpha male.
Yeah, very alpha male-ish. And he sees the guy's phone, and they're friends. He sees the guy's phone and instantly walks away and kind of is like shunning him. So then the whole episode, they're spinning it like the dude doesn't like him because he's gay now. But they were best friends up until like up until that moment.
So
they
now
were
he's like exhibiting some kind of like homophobia.
Yeah,
Right.
so that's the way they play it off. But in this feel-good kind of environment, they end up turning it at the end where he was just mad that he didn't tell him. And it's like, dude, that is the corniest fucking story twist.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
I don't
okay
buy
if he was
that at all.
uncomfortable and had to work through it. That would have been a better story.
Dude, it would have been so much better if you sat the fuck down and explained it and talked it out. I would rather see... I was thinking about this the other day because it seems to me in Hollywood and storytelling, they don't seem to know how to adapt to explaining straight white males because we're the bad guys. But they don't know how to adapt showing us existing in the same world as gay people.
Right. When
So,
really,
like-
I don't give a fuck.
Well, and that's like... And like, they don't know how... Like, so to me, I thought about writing this story of what if you had, like, this mechanic who had a gay brother that went off and lived in New York for a long time, but then the gay brother came home to this small town, Pennsylvania, wherever, and then, like, what if you wrote this story about these two guys reconnecting and trying to understand each other?
Right.
Because that's more accurate.
It's more entertaining, too.
I think it'd be entertaining, but I also think that you have to have these honest fucking questions. Maybe they weren't even brothers. Maybe they were just friends.
See, I think...
And, like, having those questions of, like, well, you're gay. I mean, are you fucking checking me out right now?
Right.
And, like, then the gay guy could explain, no, dude, I don't... I mean, do you look at every fucking woman that walks down the street? And have these honest... The problem is nobody's fucking talking.
Yeah.
You're just too busy fucking hating
But
each
what
other.
I don't like about it is the way they've written the show
Yeah.
is like they're telling you this is how you
Yeah.
should feel.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
how
yeah.
you should approach those feelings.
Yeah.
And that's not reality.
Yeah.
That's not even it's not entertaining, first of all.
Yeah.
Like, I'm watching the show to be entertained. You better give me something to fucking chew on.
Well, and that's the part where it, like, dude, it literally disgusted me. And I'm
Yeah.
sure that somebody out there is going to misunderstand what I'm saying.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
And
yeah,
they're
yeah.
going to be like, oh, we can't stand seeing fucking gay guys.
It's not
Dude,
that-
I've watched
yeah.
Brokeback Mountain. It's a great fucking story.
Right.
I mean, there's some scenes in there that I think are like,
Well, I mean, that was...
dude, that's
like,
borderline pornography, man.
Yeah, for the
you know?
time, it was like... Dude, I remember when I was a kid in the 80s. I was a little kid in the 80s. And, like, that was, like, the height of, like the AIDS epidemic and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So, like, it was so foreign to me as a child
Yeah.
when I saw two men kissing, And I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
those two dudes just, like, the idea.
Their fucking beards touched.
So, like, just think about how far the world has come in that respect.
Sure.
Like, now you see two dudes kissing on TV shows and you don't think anything of it.
Yeah.
That, to me, is
Progress.
positive progress,
Yeah.
right? So, but this whole idea of, like, you can't approach your emotions about something and work them out and come to, like, a rational conclusion without somebody telling you, this is how you should feel.
Yeah.
That's what bothers me about it more than anything else.
Yeah, well, you got a lot of preachers out there.
I don't care.
You know?
Just, live your life the way you want to live it.
Yeah, but that's...
As long as
that's-
you're not hurting somebody else.
That's the part of our culture, which is the most fucked up part, is like, if you're not doing what I'm doing,
Yeah,
you're the fucking bad guy,
Yeah.
And it's on both camps.
right.
Both camps, both left and right, far left and far right.
Yep.
You're like fucking lunatics,
Yeah. But I mean, we've explained this a lot on this show. So.
Yeah.
And
we're beating this motherfucker to
Yeah.
death.
So, this is kind of like the kind of conversation we're going to try to get away from a little bit.
Yeah.
Because, like, obviously this is something that if somebody were to listen to it going into, like, work or something, they might get riled up. Be like,
Yeah.
I'm never listening to Chris again. I don't care what John does at the fucking post office, that motherfucker. But that's kind of the, oh, man.
Well, farewell to
Yeah.
these conversations.
Farewell every third
And
Sunday.
honestly, I'll tell you this though. I mean, who knows? Because we are free spirits and we talk openly, and who knows? We may end up touching on conversations. But at the end of the day, I think the point is we want to stick to a theme from here on out, and we're open-minded, man. At the end of the day, we're open-minded, and I think that the problem is we're allowed to have opinions.
Right.
We're allowed to have a fucking opinion. I mean, it's not even your God-given right. It's just human nature.
Yeah.
You know? My dog sometimes doesn't like certain people. Sorry, dude.
That's life.
How do you change that? You know? The fucking squirrel only goes after the nuts. I don't know. I don't know why, you know? But, I don't know, man. Dude, I think we're funneling ourselves down to, like, something beautiful, you know?
I think it'll be fun, you know?
Yeah.
And I think, like, I think I would rather just do something that doesn't promote, like,
white supremacy.
No. And that's the thing. It's like, why the fuck do I gotta explain everything away? Like, that's the case. That's totally not it.
I'm just saying we should have Nazi flags and fucking
man.
NRA posters and, you know,
Yeah.
you know, white nationalism, you know. I don't know. It's fucking stupid. They're fucking jerk-offs.
But, I mean,
fucking
like,
idiots.
this woman seemed so, like, offended that I had said this to my daughter.
Yeah.
Like, I was poisoning her brain.
Yeah.
When really, I'm trying to explain to you.
Yeah.
There's a guy at Warner Brothers Entertainment.
Yep.
Who doesn't give a fuck
Yeah, man. It's
about
just a fucking...
anybody's sexual orientation. All they want to do is sell comic books.
Yep.
And make money.
Yeah.
Like every year, Marvel and DC does this thing now, like a Pride Month thing.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, I'm a huge comic book nerd, but I was in the comic
really?
shop.
We never knew
I
that.
I love it.
We didn't know that.
And so I'm in the comic book shop, and this dude comes in, and he says, "Can I subscribe to every title this month so that I can get all of the Pride covers?" So you figure, I think DC publishes 52 titles a month.
Really?
I don't know how many Marvel does, but so imagine 52. You know how much a comic book costs right now?
No.
Upwards of $5 an issue.
Really?
When we were kids, I think like
It's $1 something.
Well, for me, it was 75 cents when I started reading, like in '88, and then like I think by the time I was like done really like buying comics regularly, it was like $2.99.
Yeah.
You know, but now it's like upwards of $5. So what's 52 times 5?
$2,500 or $250.
$250. So one guy who has, obviously he was a homosexual dude.
Sure.
And he wanted every cover that month.
Yeah.
You know, what does that tell you? Like, what does that tell you? Like, dude, you can still be...
That guy is gay.
You can still be the gay guy who likes comics. You don't have to buy every fucking title that you obviously don't fucking read.
Yeah.
You don't read every title.
Yeah.
It's a collectability thing.
Yeah.
And they're fucking preying on your ideals, dude.
Yeah.
That's all it is. You could... Look, I could be... You know, you could be a gay guy and still love Batman. Like, you don't... Like, you don't have to buy every fucking title. You know?
I mean, isn't that the problem with our country, though? And, like, the idea that, like... So I've been thinking lately, this is me really abstract thinking. The problem with being an individual as opposed to a part of a group, you know?
Yeah.
And in our country right now, I think you and I are trying to focus on the individuals.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's okay if you are a member of the gay community, but what do you do as an individual?
Right.
That's what I'm interested in.
Like,
that's what makes you you.
That's
you know?
natural for people to acclimate to tribes. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Like, that's totally natural. But it doesn't define everything that you are.
I hope not.
It doesn't.
Some people lately have been, like, letting that
overrun their
become
fucking...
who they
yeah,
are.
and that's not...
I
like,
know people that walk around with their little NRA fucking hoodies on and, like, you know, like, they got, like, 3%er fucking stickers and their little Punisher stickers on the back of their cars, and you're like, dude, is that your only fucking means of an identity? Like, what is it that you do?
Right.
What do you do? Like, besides cleaning your fucking Glock 19, what the fuck do you do? Is that your only hobby?
That's all life is. I
Because
mean,
that sounds
life
fucking
is
dull.
how you experience the world. Like, this can't be the only thing you give a fuck about.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
can't
do you
be.
secretly love Celine Dion? Because, dude, let me fucking...
I want to know. I want to know that.
You know, that's okay.
Let's talk about Celine Dion,
Dude,
if
maybe.
you love it.
You know?
You know?
Isn't that what makes life fascinating, though? Dude, if we had a white supremacist that was like, I want to come on your show and I want to talk about what I like, And he's like, but secretly, I
build dollhouses. You know? Yeah.
I love dollhouses, and I listen to Japanese classical music. I would be like, sit down, bud.
Yeah, right.
Let's fucking hear that story, you know?
I don't want to hear about your white supremacist shit.
Yeah,
Tell me about your fucking dollhouses. Yeah. Right.
Dude, it's so crazy to me. On a similar note to that, I'm sitting on a job site, and this has happened to me before. I'm sitting on a job site the other day, and I noticed this dude's got 88 tattooed on the back of his fucking neck.
Yeah, that's a white supremacist thing.
Yeah,
HH.
Heil Hitler.
Yeah,
you know? And I'm like, yeah, boy, here we go. And he's like super nice guy. Sitting there talking. He's covered in tattoos. He's got iron crosses all over him.
Right.
I'm like, okay, this is a live one, you know? I'm like, oh, here we go. You know, this ain't gonna be. And I'm standing on this fucking barge with him, waiting for this crane to be ready. And I have like a Wu-Tang Clan t-shirt on. And I'm like, yep, we clearly do not belong to the same group, you know?
Right.
Like, pretty sure when you guys are putting your hoods on, you ain't jamming out the fucking, Triumph by Wu-Tang Clan. So, like, yeah. Anyway, I end up sitting there talking to him, and somebody called, and I pull my phone out. My kids are on the fucking front, image of my phone, and he's like, "Oh, is that your kids?" And I'm like, and I mean, dude, it's typical of me to like judge somebody. I'm looking at you, I'm eyeballing you up, and I'm like, yeah, these are my kids, you know. And he's like, oh man, they're cute. You got beautiful kids. And I'm like, dude, that's the moral of the story is like you're sitting here judging this dude. You don't know. He might have changed his fucking life.
Maybe he's not into it at all anymore.
You know? But I was like surprised and like, like, I don't know. It's just everything's changing, man. And I think that like...
Look, I think as human beings, you have the right to change your fucking mind.
Yeah.
Just because you felt one way 10 years ago, doesn't mean that's how you feel today.
Yeah.
That's what being a person is. Like, to be human is to err. You know what I mean? And like, you can't fucking just be like, oh, you're done. I'm done with this guy forever because of something he did 10 years
that's
ago.
also the problem with cancel culture when you
of course
really
it
think
is.
about it.
Yeah, it's bullshit, dude. It's like,
dude, prior to Elon Musk buying Twitter, they were going through and finding people that wrote shit like 10 fucking years ago or longer.
It was 10 years ago. Dude, I couldn't go through my Facebook feed from 10 years ago and not find something that I don't agree with that I said.
I used to laugh. I'm like, dude, you do realize that every one of the 90s hip-hop artists called somebody a fag at least 14 times in a song.
Yeah.
Like every song, 14 or 15 times. Homophobia was huge in the hip-hop culture.
Right. I mean, look, like
you
Eddie
would have
Murphy
to cancel...
used to, like, get on stage and do, like, a gay dialect and all that stuff. Like, that would be, if somebody got up and did that now, that would be very offensive. But back then, people laughed at it. It was just, like...
Not saying it's right or wrong.
Yeah,
just
not saying it's right or wrong.
You have to look at the times.
But look, does that make fucking Eddie Murphy any less funny?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
think
Michael Jackson used to fuck children. You
right.
know? People still love his music.
Yeah. I'll never understand that. I mean, we've talked about that before.
Shit, man.
But, dude, this is like the... This is.
You said you wanted to end it on a fucking...
We're fucking weeding you out today.
Dude, you said
we're weeding everybody out. Everybody, we're weeding you out.
Who else can we talk about today? You know?
Yep.
Fucking black people, man.
Dude.
I'm just kidding, baby. I'm just kidding. I love you.
No, I'm just saying, like,
it's
like, look, if you're going to stick around with this show after this, you're fucking tried and true because I think we've covered a lot of fucking ground today.
Who else is left? Goddamn Mexicans.
What other group of cunts can we fucking destroy today? No. Well, and that's the whole point of this is like, we don't care who you are. We don't care what you are. We don't care about these fucking extreme right, extreme left. You're a douchebag.
Let me interrupt you 1 second, because this will tie in. So, speaking as individuals, but how being a member of a group kind of fucks you up. Let me tell you a story. So, we drove past one of the comic book shops in the area here. Did I tell you about the Spider-Man? Did I tell you Spider-Man?
Oh, yeah. You were...
Did we talk about that?
Yeah, I think it was in Chichester, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we
the
drove
little
past...
shop in Chichester. Cool little shop.
It is a cool little shop. So I'm standing out front, and I happen to have like this T-shirt on of Johnny Five saying "Note Disassemble," which is like a it's like a clever way of saying no, don't tread on me. It's like a lot of hard right people are using this slogan, and it's really not supposed to be for the right or the left. It's about,
maintaining your integrity.
Well, maintaining your integrity, and it's about like as Americans, like you can't take our rights away, you know. But for some reason, the right rallies and uses it. So anyway, this guy sees the T-shirt, and he's, oh, I love this T-shirt. And I'm standing there with my kids, who are obviously a lot darker than I am, you know? And so he's like, where'd you get that T-shirt at? And I'm like telling him, and I'm trying not to go into a political conversation. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm not really like I don't belong to the traditional political groups. I kind of do my own thing. And he's got like this shit-eating grin on his face. He's, oh, really? And he's digging in his pocket. And I'm thinking like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'm like, yeah, I'm like a libertarian, so like I do like my own thing. And he's like, oh, okay, So he pulls out a fucking business card that says Proud Boys. And I'm like, oh, really? That's interesting. So I start fucking laughing. And dude, I do what I do, which is I'm a jerk. I'm a jerk off.
Yeah.
So I instantly laugh in his face, and I'm like, yeah, well, I don't know if you noticed, bud, but I'm a little more open-minded than that, And like fucking kind of start walking away. I tuck his card in my pocket, and I'm like, and he's like, no, it's not like that. It's not like, like the only thing we're really against is like closed borders. And he's like trying to argue his point.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, dude, I'm in a comic book shop so that my kids can see Spider-Man. I don't want to have this fucking talk right now.
Yeah, right.
Like, this is not the time. My kid is over the moon about fucking Spider-Man, and you want to have a political debate.
It happens a lot in comic book shops.
Dude, so I was just like, yep, all right, see you, bud. I'm like, I'm fucking just beelining it for Spider-Man.
The shop I go to Comic Universe over here in Folsom.
Yeah.
And it used to be owned by this guy, Frank, who was the sweetest guy on the fucking planet. He was like a really nice guy. But Frank eventually retired and sold the business to a friend of mine now. He's become a good friend of mine, John. And John is a Marine.
Okay.
And he has a lot of like conservative views, but
sure.
He's an open-minded guy.
Yeah.
He's like centric in his thinking. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is like, you can argue things from this side, you can argue things from this side, but if you're not listening to each other and meeting somewhere in the middle,
sure,
you're not learning anything.
Right.
So I love John, man. John is my guy. That's my boy. And I'm glad that he took the shop over. And actually, John's who got me in at the gym too. He was my referral at the gym.
Nice.
He's the one that showed me the gym, all that stuff. I remember he told me about it on a Saturday. I said I was going to go up there on Sunday morning. I was eating breakfast. I was like, hey man, I want to check that gym out sometime this week. And he's like, dude, I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like he knew it was what I needed.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
like, and he came up there in 10 minutes on his day off and fucking showed me the place, and I've been going there ever since. So like John's my guy. But happens a lot in that shop, man. You'll be standing there and some fucking idiot will come in and fucking start arguing their point from one side, and then another idiot fucking chimes in and they start arguing from the other side, and it's like, dude, like what the fuck, man?
Because you know what happens? Groups. You are arguing from the group perspective, but
you're arguing from inside, man.
But you're missing the point that you're both standing in a fucking comic book shop.
Yep.
And you both
love comics.
You both love comics as individuals.
Yep.
But you're not fucking looking at that.
Nah.
You know?
For
you're
all you
so
know,
concerned with this fucking group bullshit herd mentality that you're not going,
you can't enjoy
dude,
life.
You fucking love Spawn comics from the 90s?
I have
Me
the whole
too.
fucking collection of these stupid things and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you're not fucking having that conversation, which you should. You should be embracing that. So the reality is that's what we want to do with the show.
Yeah.
You know? I don't give a fuck about your goddamn group mentality.
Yeah.
You know, that's cool. You gotta
I want to talk to you as an individual.
Yeah.
I want to know what the fuck makes you tick outside of that bullshit.
Yeah.
You know? Somebody out there is profiteering.
Yeah.
Off of your ideal view of the world.
And it's both sides, though.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you walk down the street and I'll say this on the other side, on the far left is like, my daughter loves fucking unicorns and rainbows, and she's just a little girl that likes fucking unicorns and rainbows. But like, when somebody says to me, "Oh, that's so great that you're being inclusive with her," and I'm like, "Dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's not.
She's just a little girl that
not
likes fucking
everything needs to have some
pretty
kind
colors,
of fucking symbolism. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Right.
So, dude, what am I supposed to do? Like dress up my son like a little fucking neo-Nazi? What are you?
Like,
are you retarded?
are you supposed to like shy your children away from a fucking naturally occurring rainbow now? Like, hey, look, son, there's a rainbow.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's gay, Dad. You know? What are you, gay, Dad?
Dad.
It's a fucking rainbow. It's wonderful.
That's for the gays. We don't do that, Dad.
But that's all. Like, that's ingrained in people's fucking psyche now. Like, of
Symbols,
course, little
man.
girls like fucking unicorns. Of course they do.
Dude, it's,
What the fuck is a unicorn a symbol
even if
of?
my fucking son liked unicorns.
No, I gotta know, because
wouldn't-
I don't know this. Like, what's the symbolism in a unicorn? Is it a gay thing?
Well, I guess some people in the gay community like think that it's I don't
It's
know.
a fantastical creature.
It doesn't.
It's a horse with a fucking horn on its head. Come on, man.
It's a narwhal that walks on land.
Yeah. Dude, when I was a kid, we went to Barnum and Bailey Circus in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And
they had a unicorn.
The unicorn, it was like a fucking sheep that had like a fucking horn on its head or some shit. And I think like they got some bullshit about it because like I think it was like animal cruelty or some shit. I don't know how the fuck. No, I don't even think it was naturally occurring. I think they did something to the fucking sheep to put this horn on its head or something. It was like. But I remember all they did was fucking take it out and wheel it around the fucking floor and then take it off the fucking stage and get on with the circus.
They found it over there next to Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Like, here you go.
I don't think it was naturally occurring. I think they did something to this fucking... I don't even know what kind of animal it was. I want to say it was a sheep.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a fucking horse. You know? At least I don't think it was. I'm fucking 4 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just imagine.
I only ever went to the circus once, I think, as a kid. And I didn't like it.
Really?
No, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And you know what I did like? I liked the ball, the fucking giant cage
that they rode the dirt
that they
bike
rode
in?
the dirt bikes in. I thought that was fucking cool as shit. But, you know, fucking elephant coming out, you know?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Whatever.
Fuck them elephants.
Yeah, and then, you know, the tightrope walker was kind of... Like, when you're 4, you're like, holy fucking shit, that's crazy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty wild shit, you know?
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Never did a circus since. Before or since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we want to talk to people that have guilty pleasures or their favorite hobby. What do they do when they're not at a Klan rally? Or
Look, if you're a Klansman that likes blowing dudes, come down here and talk to us about blowing dudes.
Or
You know?
a tranny that lives in the neighborhood that like secretly loves like going to monster truck shows. Like, dude, it's cool, man. It's cool. You're a fucking gay guy in Philly that likes
Bigfoot.
likes guns and Bigfoot. I mean,
Is Bigfoot still a thing?
sometimes.
Yeah?
You know, when,
No, I mean, I haven't, like, remember when we were fucking kids, you'd, like, see, like, commercials of, like, Bigfoot.
well, it was popular in like the 90s, like Harry and the Hendersons.
Well,
and
like,
the
no, I'm
fucking-
talking about Bigfoot the fucking truck.
Oh yeah.
Remember, is that still a truck?
Dude, he's like the king of big trucks, man.
Still?
Oh, he's always going to
Still a
be.
big blue fucking truck?
Him and Gravedigger is like.
Well, I
one of
remember
the origi-
Gravedigger, like, became, like, the next generation of
Yeah.
Bigfoot. But I didn't know if Bigfoot was still a thing.
I think that there's always going to be like those original trucks. It's like
Yeah.
Optimus Prime and like
Yeah.
you know like
love Optimus
Bumblebee.
Prime.
Like, do you know that that's the originals?
Yeah.
You know, like you can have newer guys, but
But to me, like, as a kid, it was like so many things were ingrained in me. It was like
Yeah.
Mr. T, Hulk Hogan, Bigfoot, fucking
yeah.
Optimus Prime, like
Yeah.
He-Man.
I mean, that's probably when I started really getting into trucks and cars and like.
I just mean culturally in the 80s.
I love the Gravedigger. I
don't even know what Gravedigger looked like. I
was,
remember Bigfoot.
It was like a Chevy panel truck, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was a Plymouth. I don't really know.
You ever see the movie Quick Change with Bill Murray and Randy Quaid and Gina Davis where they're like bank robbers?
Yeah.
It's a really good movie. Fucking funny as shit. And in the beginning of the movie, he has like a list of demands.
Yeah.
And he's dressed in the clown suit, and the fucking and the fucking chief of police is on the phone with him, and he's like, and you see a fucking monster truck pull up. It was like one of his demands, and fucking, he's like, "We got your monster truck." Dude, I just associate monster trucks with the 80s.
Yeah.
I love it, you know.
Yeah,
I went to monster trucks one time in my life. My son loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do nowadays. It's pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
I think as a culture, we took anything from the 80s and 90s and just made it so absurd
Right.
that it's like fucking ridiculous. So they're taking monster trucks now and they're launching them hundreds of fucking feet in the air.
Yeah.
And doing like backflips with them, and like they're doing like, it's fucking insanity. You know? Dude, even like, so I grew up riding dirt bikes, and to watch a dirt bike race, you would be like, oh my God, these guys are doing these giant jumps.
Yeah.
And all they're doing is like letting go of the handlebars, or they're fucking kicking their feet off the back. But now they're doing like triple back flips and front flips and like these big crazy twists and flips, and like some of them are flipping their bodies while the bike flies through the air. They're flipping their body upside down and landing back on the bike.
How many times did it take you to perfect that?
Well, they have these giant foam pits and these like air bladder things that they land on.
You can stay safe.
Yeah, so they practice a million times.
Yeah,
these
muscle
guys,
memory eventually kicks in, and you do it impeccably.
Dude, when you have a multi-million-dollar budget, like Travis Pastrana, you know, like the Nitro Circus guy, you know, like, dude, when you can just go and buy a giant, 100 or 200 acre farm and build your own anything, and like
anything is possible.
Right, you know what I mean? Like, dude, it's not, like when in the 90s watching skateboarders do insane tricks.
Right.
But then you watch like the bloopers reel when the guy got fucking wrecked
and
trying to do it.
Posting themselves on rails, but with like their
breaking
balls
their shoulders and breaking their fucking arms and legs.
Remember that video by that band's what was it? Fucking, the song was called Scrape, I think it was called.
Oh.
It's the whole video is just fucking skate injuries. It's insane.
Dude, it's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, in the 90s, there was no like practice handrail with fucking foam all around it. So like, well, in case you fall, you won't fucking die today.
It's trial and error.
Dude, back then, like we would go to Love Park in the 90s, and like there would be many people walking around with like casts and shit on their arms because like they got fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, guy has a fucking major head injury because he like hit his fucking head on the railing, or nutted himself, like the nut.
Yeah, man.
Dude, they
fuck
would,
that.
Seriously.
You know what I wish I was alive
permanent
for?
Damage.
To experience in real time, Evel Knievel.
Yeah,
like he was before my time.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like being like,
dude,
old enough to understand what he was doing? Like, be like a 12-year-old.
Yeah,
and like have Evel Knievel out there. What a pioneer,
dude. So he's the beginning.
Yeah, man.
When you really think about extreme sports,
how did that guy put his pants on? His balls were so big. You know,
he just sat him in a wheelbarrow behind him.
That motherfucker was the shit. The shit. Dude, imagine being Evel Knievel.
Yeah.
I bet you that dude couldn't walk into Kmart without getting his dick licked. You know what I mean? Like, he was just a bad motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Oh, dude, what a bad motherfucker Evel Knievel.
Do you know how many bones he's broken in his lifetime?
Every one of them, probably.
All of them.
Over and over again.
Yeah.
Dude, when I see him like fucking like going across the Grand Canyon or some shit. On a fucking dirt bike.
Yeah.
You know? That's crazy.
Well, nowadays, guys are like, oh, yeah, Evel Knievel did this, but we did it like 4 times as far. And you're like, dude, what the fuck?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what... Look, fucking... just because somebody fucking picked up a guitar and played a fucking riff, you ain't Jimi Hendrix, motherfucker. Like, he did it first.
So that's the problem with our society, and I think that's the problem with, like, social media. It's like TikToks and all this stuff. Everything is so extreme that unless you're willing to do something so fucking ridiculous. Like, I build my cars... And I do shit that in this neighborhood, people are like, oh my God, that's fucking wild.
But on the internet, it's old hat.
In the internet, they're like, dude,
whatever.
You're a fucking peon. All you did was put a motor in a car.
You're a peon.
You're a fucking nobody, dude. Nobody gives a shit about you. You know? They're like, oh, you did a Smoky Burnout? Oh, that's cool. In Delco, they're like, oh my God, he went up to Interborough High School and did a bunch of donuts, Holy shit, did you see? You know, like people are like fucking amazed.
Yeah, you're like a local hero here, but in the
Yeah.
fucking world of the online.
Yeah, online they're like,
Yeah.
well, you should take your car and jump it off the top of one of them buildings in Philadelphia and land on one of the bridges, like
Yeah.
Fast and the fucking Furious. And then if you can do that and still survive, you should drive to the coast and try and skip it across the ocean over to England. You know, like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck, dude?
Yeah,
You
where's
know?
the appreciation for the craft?
Dude,
You know?
people don't give a shit no more.
They don't.
You know?
They don't.
Just
Dude, I
how-
was watching a video the other day, and, like, this is really nerdy, but, like, I got a little sentimental about it. And I think it's, like, it went viral, and a lot of people felt the same way. This guy's, like, a comedy guy. I think he's a comedian, but, like, he recorded an album.
Okay.
But one of the songs on the album, he made a video for. It was called Hogan Slammed Andre the Giant, right? And basically, what makes it so sentimental is, like, the guy said, this is a song about a time in my life when you know, Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant, like, brought me this unfettered fucking joy
Yeah.
that everything was right in the world. The good guy won, and, like, nothing was more exhilarating than getting behind that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, as a man, as a fucking, like, you can look back on that and just smile at it.
Yeah.
Because nothing else, like, your life is so fucking, like, muddled now
Yeah.
with bullshit that it's, like, it's hard to find any joy in anything. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was, like, I thought it was a really cool video. They made the video with, the old big rubber wrestlers from the 80s, the ones that you could fucking wing across the room and kill somebody with.
Yeah.
So, like, the whole video is that, and then, like, you know, the guy's singing a song about the match. Like,
Yeah.
but it's done in such a way that it's, like, it has credibility. You know what I mean? I think originally he meant for it maybe to be funny.
Yeah.
But the way it took off, like, people are like, dude, I feel the same fucking way. You know what I mean? Like,
You'll have to send me the link.
yeah, it went viral. It went viral, and, like, you know, he's getting a lot of recognition for it now. I don't know who the comedian is. I think he's on he's on something popular. What the fuck is that show? The League? You ever watch The League?
No, I know.
I think
I've
he's
heard
on
the
that.
name.
I think the guy is on that.
Yeah.
And he recorded, like, an album. I think the band or the album name or whatever is called Wolfie's Just Fine or some shit like that.
Okay.
And he does, like, I don't know, this is the only song I've heard off of it, and I think it's like the second single off of the fucking album or whatever. But, like, when I saw it, I was like, oh man, because I had all those big rubber wrestlers when I was a kid. You know, like, my cousin Lib fucking bought me my first 3 when I was 6. And my dad fucking hated wrestling, so he, like, he fucking stashed them away in the basement to never be seen again until I fucking realized what wrestling was when I was, like, 8 or 9 years old. And then I was like, oh, I gotta collect these fucking things. And, you know, I became, like, a fucking wrestling nerd. And my dad hated it. He fucking hated it. Like, he would tell me all the time, that shit is fake, it's fixed, it's phony. But, like, I was a little fucking
Thanks,
kid.
Dad.
Well, I said to him, that was my argument. I was like, you know what is fake? Marvel Comics. DC Comics. You didn't have a problem buying all that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
He-Man was fucking fake.
Yeah.
You know? It's a TV show. Give me a break. Give me a break. Let me watch these fucking guys oil up and fucking wrestle each other. You know what I mean?
Dad, I just enjoy watching giant muscular men slide.
That's
and
it. That's all it
sweat
is, Dad.
all over top of each other.
What is the
Okay?
problem, Dad?
I don't understand.
I don't understand. You see the fucking muscle tone in Ricky Steamboat? What the fuck? Give me a break.
He's just laying on him, Dad. He's
But
just,
me and my dad ended up having so much fucking fun going to the Spectrum and watching wrestling and shit like that.
yeah.
Like, dude, we saw what the fuck? We saw the I don't know if you know who the Legion of Doom was. The
No.
Road Warriors. Dude, we saw them in person and I fucking, like, damn near shit my pants. They were so fucking cool looking. And then we saw Sensational Sherry. You know who Sensational Sherry was?
No.
She was, like, the manager of, like, the Macho Man, but, like, she was the bad girl manager, like,
Okay.
the bad guy character. Like, before that, Macho Man had Elizabeth, who was this prim and proper, like, submissive fucking, like, damsel in distress kind of character. And Macho Man was a fucking asshole piece of shit kind of guy who was with this wonderful woman. And it was, like, such a, like, contrast in characters that, like, it was so entertaining. But then, you know, when Elizabeth was out of the picture and they brought Sherry in, Sherry was, like, this fucking loudmouth, trashy, fucking bitchy, like, fucking will punch the guys in their fucking faces like a real badass bitch. And on TV, they would describe her as like scary Sherry.
Yeah.
She was fucking sexy as fuck though.
Yeah, yeah.
And me and my dad seen her in person, and my dad was like, "That Sherry's really good looking," you know. And I was like, "Dude." I was like 12, so like I'm like the pinnacle.
I got a boner, Dad.
I was like, Dad, I got me, you know, like I gotta go to the bathroom, bro.
I'm pointing at the stars, Dad.
Dude, she was so fucking fine in person, like so fine, so sexy. But it was cool, man. Like we had so much fun doing that shit. But yeah, check that video out. Check out the fucking Hogan slammed Andre video. It's
dig it.
It's fucking fun.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, man.
We've offended enough people.
We've offended enough people. We've excluded, I think, everybody.
Everybody?
We've tried.
We've gotten
everyone.
We've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
We've weeded out all the non-hackers.
I just want you to know, if you're a Trump supporter,
fuck you.
You're a cunt. If you're a Democrat,
fuck you.
Fuck you too. You're a cunt. If you're from Swarthmore,
fuck you.
Oh, most definitely fuck you.
Yeah.
If you're white,
fuck
you. If you're black,
fuck you too.
Not all yous, but there's some of yous.
No, fuck it, man. Fuck you,
all
man.
Yous.
Nah.
The entire group. Fuck you, man. I'm just kidding. It's all a joke. It's all a joke.
We're not gonna have any listeners.
Dude, they fucking hate me right now, dude. My in-laws are listening to this and they're like,
Chris,
that's
what are you doing?
You are no longer fucking invited. You know?
Yeah. You're not coming.
You're not coming with us.
No more mac and cheese for you, Chris.
Dude, you have no idea.
I know you told me about
that.
Her sister makes the craziest mac and cheese.
It is. You think to yourself, dude, it's fucking cheese and macaroni noodles.
It's not.
Nope.
It's baked. It's got shit in there. It's got spices. It's got everything.
It has.
Motherfucker.
It has an essence.
All it's in
of the earth.
Yeah.
It is godly.
Really.
The Lord came down and touched this
mac
fucking
and
mac and cheese.
Is that good?
It's that fucking good, man.
Dude, it's so
It's like when you talk about your chicken parm, you know?
Yeah.
And so in our future endeavors, I do think that we should occasionally
delve into food,
talk about food, because there are people that love cooking, you know? You could be a white supremacist that loves a good chicken parm, you know?
Yeah.
Like you could be, you know, a gay guy that really enjoys a steak, you know?
Listen,
it's okay.
all we're saying is it's really not fuck you to everybody. It's not.
It's not.
What it is let's find a common thread.
I love it, man.
Between individuals.
Yeah.
That's all it is. That's what the show is. Common thread. It's actually more, we want you to tolerate people.
Yeah.
That's really what we want. We want you to tolerate people. We want you to be able to fucking laugh at each other in a, what's the best way to describe it? Like,
in a wholesome way.
In a wholesome way. Yeah, exactly. Man. You know, Don Rickles made a whole fucking career out of fucking shitting on people and laughing at them.
The beauty of our culture is that we are diverse.
Right.
At the end of the day, you know, saying get rid of this group of people or get rid of that group of people, this place would not be this place without all of us.
Yeah. If it wasn't the melting pot that it is, we wouldn't have got where we are.
So.
You know.
So be gay, man.
Be gay. Be black.
Be anything. You want to go around and fucking hate people because you don't like that they butt fuck each other or they're a little darker than you.
You ain't in the room when they're coming. What the fuck do you care,
dude?
Yeah.
You know you secretly watch that porn. You know you secretly watch that fucking porn. I'm just saying, if you check my history, dude,
that's why you're
there'll
angry.
Be some weird shit in there. All right.
You're angry because you're fucking. You like it.
There's a part of your soul that's like, I just want to taste it.
Why can't it be me?
What the fuck, man?
Because my daddy said I shouldn't do it.
Yeah. Fucking daddy kicked you in the dick one time and it hurt your feelings.
Put your dick away, boy.
But daddy, I just want to taste a black man's penis.
You ever seen American Beauty?
I still to this day die laughing when I hear about the story of the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan got caught with the black tranny.
Yeah.
Dude, there's a part of my soul.
Is tranny like a bad word now? Like
I don't know. I try. Listen, man. If it offended somebody, I'm sorry, but like,
I don't know. Like,
I don't know, man.
Right.
A trans person, a black trans person.
It's like when you give somebody a nickname.
Yeah.
It's no good.
Yeah.
Like saying the word tranny is no good.
Is it? It's
I don't know.
no
I don't know what's
list?
safe anymore.
Is that on the list?
And I don't know.
I used to walk around saying the N-word, but I'm not allowed to say it no more. My mother-in-law got real mad at me.
Sure.
No, I'm just kidding.
Sure.
Just kidding.
Dude, I work with a guy at work, and he just gets a kick out of saying it all the time. He's a black dude.
Yeah.
And he just incorporates it in his comedy in a way that it's just so, like, it's so
kind of like
funny.
How Dave Chappelle, with a hard R or with the A word?
No, with a hard R.
Oh, yeah.
But he does it in such a way, like, he does such good, like, he has such great delivery, this guy. I don't even think he realizes how funny he is.
Yeah.
But he does it in a way to, like, shock everybody else in the room. And he's like, it's so fucking priceless.
It's the Dave Chappelle moment, you know?
He's not, but the thing is, he's not as fucking clever as, like, a Chappelle.
No?
He's just so bare bones funny.
Yeah.
This dude is the funniest dude I know.
Yeah.
And it's not because, like, he's, saying the word that everybody doesn't want to say.
It's all about the delivery.
It's his delivery.
If you say it in the right moment.
It's his delivery.
You know?
He has a way of doing it that's just... And he's always saying that he's, like, banging somebody's daughter. Or, like, if you see my car in the driveway, you keep driving around the block. It's because I'm... like, he's just so fucking, like... He's out of control.
Dude, this is... So, when I started Yardbird Tuna...
He's uproariously funny.
I love it.
He's so funny.
But it's obviously he likes talking shit.
He's awesome.
Because what he just said is like, dude, if you see me at your daughter's fucking apartment building... Which to me is great.
Yeah.
I miss the shit talking. I encourage it. I used to have this buddy at the shipyard, Darnell. He was the only one. He was the only one that I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me be careful because he will verbally beat me the fuck up, man.
Right.
Like, he'll fucking hurt my soul.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, this dude doesn't really set out to do that. He just it's almost like he's created this gimmick for himself.
Yeah.
That says, like, I'm this over-the-top character that does this, 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 and this. And it's just such a bright spot. And you're like, you go into work, you're like, at 11 in the morning, I'm like, man, I do not want to go to fuck to work today. I don't. And then once you're there, like, you're getting in the groove of doing it, but you don't love doing it.
Sure.
And then this motherfucker comes in and he's just fucking saying all this crazy shit. And it's like, oh, thank God he came in here for 10 minutes because I just laughed my ass off.
I think that there's people out there. I like to believe that I'm one of them guys. I say inappropriate shit at moments when I definitely should not, and I think it's a part of who I am as a being on this planet. Dude, if I see that you're not in a good mood or something, I instantly want to cheer you up, and maybe that's that guy's MO is like, he's like, dude, I know this is ridiculous. I'm going to say it.
It is the most ridiculous shit in the world.
Yeah.
He's talking about, getting this one pregnant and that one and all that. It's just, he's out of control. Out of control.
We should have that guy on the show.
It would be too much, man. It would
really?
Yeah.
Tell him I'll talk to him on Yardbird Tuna.
I don't think he would do it.
Really?
Honestly.
That's the problem, man. Some guys, this mic fucking freaks people out sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think he would come out here and do it. I think he just on the whole, he's not out there doing that to everybody he meets. He does it like in the comfort of the people in that, in that little office. Like, so it'll be like me, my boy Matt, and like a couple other people that he's like, he won't do it in front of other employees there. Like, really? He just does it with us.
Maybe he knows you got a good sense of humor.
Oh, yeah. And he's great. Dude, he's fucking hilarious. Hilarious, Yeah. Yeah. That's my boy, though.
All right, guys. Well, we've reached the end of the rope here.
This is the last episode of Every Third Sunday.
Let
it die its death.
Third Sunday
is no more.
It was a pleasure, and now we're moving on to bigger and better things.
Funner things.
Yeah. So stay tuned. If you're following the show, you don't have to do nothing. But what you could do is really help us out and put us out there. Share it with your friends, your family, your fucking enemies.
Share this episode.
If you know any white supremacist trans persons, let them know that we would like for them to follow us. We're talking to them as individuals.
Out of control.
Yeah, man.
This one was a lot.
I love it.
Should we even put this out?
Hell yeah.
Yeah?
Fucking right.
Oof.
And we're going to end it on this.